Hello, I'm Matteo, the Chief Mobile Opinionist here at Tech Travel Geek. And this is the Tech Travel Geek's unboxing and setup video for the Honor 50 smartphone. Yes, you heard that right. Honor are back in 2021 as an independent company, and this is their first flagship product coming to European markets. This is the Honor 50 as provided to the Tech Travel Geeks by Honor UK. I should say this is a review unit provided by Honor, and we're just opening it for the first time. Packaging is pretty simple. It's a simple white cardboard box. There seems to be the smartphone on the inside. We'll just check what else is in the box. There's a pin ejector tool. There is, in this case, a silicone case, which gives us an idea of the shape and size of the smartphone. We'll look at that with the phone in a moment. And as this is a review unit, this is coming with a 66 watt European plug charger. Now, I would expect the UK version of this product to have, in this case, a UK plug. But let's see what's on the inside and the details of this 66 watt charger. So it is a compact charger. It has a bit of heft to it. But if we look at the details here, it's Honor Supercharged. No longer do we see Huawei branding here. And it says maximum 66 watts. But this outputs 5 volt at 2 amps, so it's a standard 10 watt charger if needed. It can also be 10 volt at 4 amp, that's 40 watts, and 11 volts at 6 amp, so that's 66 watt fast charging. To give you a bit of context, that's similar to what you see on laptops. And according to Honor, this fast charging technology allows you to charge 70% of the battery in around about 20 minutes if charging from flat. So that's some really impressive specs, and we'll be covering this charging technology in our upcoming long-term review. Let's see what else is in the box. So there is, in this case, a USB cable. And it's an orangey, it's a gentle orange, unlike the Xiaomi ones. So it's an orange USB Type A to USB Type C. So that goes into your light orange Honor Supercharged 66 watt charger. And that's the pairing of cable and charger to get the most out of the charging experience. But that's not all. There's something else that you don't often see in these unboxings and modern products. There's a set of Honor earbuds, and these have obviously left and right earbuds. They're of the non-earplug variety, they're just open ones, and they connect to USB Type-C. This may be just a little indicator of the fact there's no courage port on the Honor 50. Now let's move the packaging and the cables aside, and let's look at the smartphone itself. I'm taking the plastic wrapper off, and this is a very nice emerald green. So it's a very flashy emerald green, and yeah, that feels like the build is solid. I can't say for certain what the back of this is made out of. Let me see. That feels plasticky. That's not a bad thing. Gives you a bit more security in being able to use it. And as you can see here, you have the main camera sensor. That's an AI quad camera setup. And the main camera here on the Honor 50, in this case, is a 108 megapixel sensor. Just let that sink in. It's 108 megapixels. And that is paired with, on here, there is an 8 megapixel ultra wide camera, as well as a 2 megapixel macro sensor and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. In our full review, we'll be putting these camera setups through their paces. But as you can see, Honor branding with its capitals, the new Honor branding, the quad camera setup here with an LED flash. And at the side, you can see that it has power on-off button and volume rocker. On the left, pretty much nothing. And this curved screen goes into the side. It's very nice to hold just first impressions here. At the top, a couple of microphone holes, nothing too exciting. And at the bottom, we have the SIM tray, our USB Type-C for charging data, and the earphones we just saw. and a speaker grill. So very straightforward. So what I'm going to do now is just get a SIM card out and we'll pop that in and set up this smartphone. So today I am going to be using a Tesco mobile SIM card that I got for the purpose of this review. 10 gigabytes for £10. Seems like a good deal to me. So for £10 you get 10 gigabytes of data on the Tesco mobile network. Currently that's running on O2 as far as I'm aware. And this is micro. Let's take it a step further, and it's now a nano SIM card. And now we just need to get the SIM tray at the bottom, pop that in, pop that out, and see how it goes. So here we go, SIM 1 and SIM 2. This is very similar to the other devices we've seen that take dual SIM. They're two-sided trays. One SIM goes on each side. It's a space-saving option that gives smartphone manufacturers the possibility of stacking things and taking up less space. That usually means more space for batteries or other features. Okay, so our SIM's in. I'm going to put the Honor 50 into its silicone case just to start off and keep it safe. I do have some cases on order, and with that silicone case you still get to see that lovely emerald green. There's a bit of a fingerprint marking here. Let me just wipe that off. I'll put that back in. That's better. So you get to see that lovely semi-translucent, really Marlon Brando in Superman effect of my face reflecting in it. Let's turn the device on after I've left you with that very disturbing scene. Honor, powered by Android. Great to see that, and this is the new Android branding with a little bug head. That's Honor. Initial impressions of the screen is that's very bright, even in this bright room where I'm setting up the smartphone. Now, in terms of display, this is an OLED display. It's at 120 Hz one, and we'll look at that in a moment. Now, as it comes out of the box, it has 2% battery. So this is the ideal situation to maybe plug in our 66-watt charger and see how it performs. I'm plugging into my AOFO multi-plug adapter, which is international as well. Let's just have a look at how that fast charging performs. So as I said, this is a review device from Honor, and it says that we're supercharging. So I'm going to turn that off for a second. We were at 2%, and you can see that supercharging icon there. That's great to see. So I think we can set up the device. Now this is obviously a review unit that's probably been set up. We want to give you the full experience, so what I'm going to do is factory reset this. Reset phone. And in this case, this is Magic UI, based on Android 11. So it's a recent version of Android, not the most recent, which just launched last week, Android 12. So you do get a recent version of Android with the operating system overlay or the customized version of Android called Magic UI. And as you can see, Magic is showing quite clearly here. And it's performing quite quickly. Usually it takes a little bit longer to do that. That was really fast. But I suppose with a fast octa-core processor, such as the Snapdragon 778, and some recent memory formats and allocations, it can do things like this very, very quickly. And just to let you know, I have just confirmed by gently stroking the selfie camera that there is a screen protector already applied to the Honor 50 in this case. Again, we're back to the inky blacks of that OLED screen. Lovely, lovely screen. The more I look at it and use it, the more I'm actually enjoying this. Curved screens, it's something very subjective. In this case, in this size, This is very compact for a smartphone compared to other ones that we're looking at the moment. This looks lovely. Just give Honor a few minutes to get its first boot done. Okay, so here we are. Magic UI has just fired up. We're going to go with English, United Kingdom. I have definitely read that and definitely say it's okay. Now I'm going to connect to one of my Wi-Fi networks, in this case Planet Express. Futurama users, rejoice. Okay then, so that's me typed in my password. Now interestingly, by default the keyboard is Microsoft's SwiftKey, which is actually quite a good keyboard. Obviously it takes a bit of learning compared to Google's Gboard, but there should be no reason why you shouldn't be able to use Gboard here. Great, I'm not going to copy anything from a previous smartphone, I just want to set it up as a new smartphone, go through the whole setup experience. Okay then, so there we go, I agree to the Google Terms of Service. This means that the Honor 50 has the full stack of Google services and Google Play services. You can use this just like any other Android smartphone. So British summertime, just until the weekend, until the clocks go back. Great news if you like sleeping an extra hour on a Sunday morning. Maybe not so good news if you're like the sunshine. Now this is Google's ballot screen where you get to choose who your search provider is on the device. You have quite a selection of options including DuckDuckGo, Microsoft Bing, Google, Yahoo and others. I'm just going to go with Google because I trust in Google and have a great overall experience from the company. Let's see if they need my voice match. Since I've set up multiple devices, there should be no need for me to put that through. Let's see what the fingerprint ID is like on this thing. First I need to set up a PIN number. Okay then, so we're on the fingerprint screen. It suggests I put my finger on the screen. Accuracy of fingerprint sensor may be affected if you're using a third-party screen protector. For best results, use an official Honor screen protector. Some good advice there. And by the light going through my thumb, you can just see that on camera. This is obviously one of those optical fingerprint sensors that Huawei and Oppo and Vivo have been using for years now. It is very fast and responsive. And I'm getting a bit of haptic feedback here as I set up my fingerprint. So I've set up a fingerprint successfully. Let's set up face recognition and see how that works. Okay then, so in this case, it's saying to set up face recognition, enable raise to wake. I'll just move my microphone a little bit. That was really fast. Great. Let's enable all services, join the user improvement program, enable data for location, and the new gesture navigation on Honor. Let's try out the experience. So swipe in from the left to go back, swipe in from that other side to go forward, and swipe up from the bottom of the screen. Nice. And that's for multitasking. Great. So we've been through a quick tutorial on gesture navigation on the Honor 50, and here we are. We're in. And obviously this is the default setup. There's no app drawer as far as I can tell, but I'm sure we can change this in settings. Before we go any further, we get a prompt to finish setting up the device. In this case, I'm going to be carrying on. I don't want to copy any apps or data. Assistant is ready. Don't really want any other additions. Excellent. So let's explore the Honor 50 as it is, as it comes out of the box. Whilst we're doing that, I'm going to go into the Google Play Store and look at the pre-installed apps and update them all so to make sure they're all up to date. Now, whilst that's going on, we can make the most of that relatively fast processor and ample memory to have a look at what's going on here. So this is Magic UI. In this case, it's Honor's Android distribution for the Honor 50. Android 11, as we said. And we see that the processor in this case is a Snapdragon 778G. There's 6 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage. And that this is security patch 1st of September as things stand. Let's move to see if there are any updates. So, software update. There is already a new one available, which is downloading. We're already at 28% download. So it's a 3.1 GB download. So that's great, that's happening in the background. And let's have a look through the menu system. So by default, this looks like it's a nice light theme. So you can see we've got a nice bright wallpaper. In our drop-down, everything is very similar to MUI, that's Huawei's Android distribution, but it is Magic UI, which has forked from the MUI. Let's have a look at other settings. I personally do like having an app drawer for my apps, so we'll see if we can change this through here. So you need to pinch to get into your settings, home screen settings. So 4x6, Google Discover. There seems to be no option for the app drawer. Let's see if that's available in display and brightness. Color mode and temperature for the display, we're going with vivid, and I'm okay with that. Brightness is automatic. Let's have a look at dark mode. I want it on all day. Now, there will be a minimal amount of battery you save having dark mode on, especially with an OLED screen. And that's not only gentler on the eyes, but it's saving you battery life, which I think is quite important. Now, as you can see, as we've been setting up the phone and going through some power-hungry processes, like downloading the operating system update and Play Store updates at the same time, the phone is still charging and we're already at 14% charge, which is good to hear. And now I'm starting to get email notifications, so stuff in the background is going on. Let's see what else we can change in home screen and wallpaper settings. So you can change themes, icons, home screen settings. I'm not seeing anything for an app drawer. Home screen style, here we are. Standard or drawer. So this is my personal preference. I like being able to lift up from the bottom to get to the full list of apps, rather than having lots of home screens like an iOS person. Now that's just a personal preference. It's nice to have a choice as you do here. So let's have a look at the tools that are included. Usual weather widget, calculator, recorder, mirror. Ooh. So you have a mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who has the most headphones of them all? Trick question. That's actually Vlad Savov. So there you go. Scrolling through Google Discover, or what used to be called Google Now, it works just as expected. So there we go. We have enabled dark mode, enabled the app drawer. Let's have a look at a few things in the other settings that are here. So apps, we have all the default apps. By default, we have Google Messaging here. So setting up chat features, so it's going to synchronize to get this all done. What I'm going to do is just send myself a text message. So this is Honor 50. And this is the default messaging app with, in this case, SwiftKey by Microsoft. So that's the default keyboard in this case is SwiftKey. Now it's not difficult to install Gboard. We'll have a look at this. And now that I'm in dark mode, you can see that it's there. So you can install Gboard, my personal favorite keyboard on Android. It's Google's keyboard app, and setting it up is as simple as enabling it in settings, as we've done, selecting the input method, moving away from Microsoft SwiftKey to Gboard, and done. Now, these are all the settings for Gboard. So it's currently set up to English, but I do use Italian quite a lot. So I will search for Italian and Italy. Great. So we've added my second language. Preferences. I prefer not having haptic feedback on key press. And more importantly, I do not enjoy glide typing, so I'm switching that off. And in terms of theme, I think I'm going to go for a dark gradient. Let's go with this one and take the keyboarders away. And now you can see Gboard. The keyboard is as I enjoy it from Gboard. So there's no issues doing that, setting up your phone, downloading apps from the Google Play Store. I think that in terms of setup, we can now reboot now that our system updates are here. So we'll need to set this up. What I'll do is do that and wrap up this video. So we're going to be doing a full long-term review of the Honor 50 here at Tech Travel Geeks. If you don't already, please do subscribe to us here on YouTube. If you have any thoughts or would like to let us know what you thought about this setup of the Honor 50, please do let us know in the comment section below. But for now, thanks for watching and goodbye from us.